Yo, it's King of the Ring Boxing, back again with a new video. So, big fight coming up this weekend, Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin. Obviously, after the first one, we saw Dillian get starched on the canvas after, having a good show when he put Povetkin down twice. And then Povetkin just caught him with his trademark uppercut. Like, I've always said this, but Povetkin, he isn't the biggest hitter in the heavyweight division, but he's one of the most accurate hitters, and his the way he punches, like his punch mechanics. If he did have power, like let's say if he had more power than he already does, he'd be an unbelievable puncher. But because he is so accurate and he does punch with perfect technique, he just hit Whyte with that beautiful uppercut and flattened him on the canvas. So the main question is repeat or revenge, and I'm going to just break down the rematch for you. In the first fight you saw Dillian box at long range, as that would be his advantage against Povetkin. He's got like very long arms. Lucas Brown called him a chimpanzee because of those long arms. Obviously Dillian said that was because there's a bit of a racially motivated comment, but Brown said he calls him a chimpanzee because he has long arms, and he does have very long arms. And against Povetkin, those long arms can be used to keep him at bay, fight at long range, and that's what was working for Dillian Whyte in that fight. He was fighting at long range, moving as well. I've never really seen Dillian move like that before. He's like gliding around the ring. I don't know whether that's because obviously Povetkin's an older man. You can't cut off the ring as effectively as he once did. But yeah, Dillian was moving very nicely, and he was letting off his shots. And obviously people say, why didn't Dillian stick to what he was doing, like when he was dominating the fight, which was fighting at long range, and then why did he switch up from that and start fighting up close? The answer's simple. Povetkin, from round one up until the point which he KO'd Dillian, was hitting Dillian to the body, and these body shots were taking it out of Dillian. So whereas in the first few rounds Dillian was moving around the ring, fighting at long range and moving his feet very effectively, those body shots, were wearing and tearing Dillian down, and Dillian just got tired. Those body shots take it out of you, So those wore and tore Dillian down, so Dillian sort of felt like he had to engage up close, and that is the mistake he made, engaging up close with Alexander Povetkin, who is a very good inside fighter. And as I said, if he lands one of those perfect uppercuts or hooks, like, it's game over, because he always lands it on the button. So what will be different in this rematch? There's a lot of factors. Like, I wish I could make it just such a simple prediction, but there's a lot of factors going into the rematch, such as Povetkin is 41 now, I believe he's 41. He's 40 or 41, I'm not sure. So he's aged since the last fight, Another thing is with the coronavirus. He supposedly had coronavirus. Obviously, Dillian Whyte was saying that he was using that as an excuse to delay the rematch so he could be more prepared for it. But let's just take Povetkin and his team at his word. He had coronavirus, so how is that going to affect, his stamina, his lungs, the way he's going to breathe around the ring, How's that going to affect that? So that's on the Povetkin side. On the Whyte side, it's more psychological. Is Whyte going to be able to get over that knockout? Is he going to be able to, when he was fighting at long range, when he tired, because Povetkin, I think, will go the same game plan of going to the body to tire Dillian out, towards the mid to late rounds. When Whyte does get tired, will he, be afraid to exchange up close? And will he look scared? Will he look sloppy? You know what I mean? So there's all these different factors going into it, and it's quite hard. It's quite a hard fight to call. Like, again, in the first fight, I actually predicted that Povetkin would win via knockout, because I did think that would be the result. But this fight, because of all these external factors, I'm a bit more, I don't know which way to swing. And the only thing I'll say is If Dillian fights like he did in the first fight, I do think he can win, but he needs to be more effective in the clinch. So when he does get tired, he needs to wrap Povetkin up, because he is the physically stronger man in there. You should wrap Povetkin up and not engage with him on the inside, but the sort of Dillian likes to be macho, doesn't he? Like, I think maybe his ego, can he overcome his ego to clinch Povetkin on the inside, or will he always be tempted to scrap with him on the inside? Like, if he is to win this fight, he has to tie Povetkin up on the inside. And if you're Povetkin, you just do the same thing as you did in the first fight. You keep hitting that body of Dillian and just bide your time, because you think, look, there is going to be a point where I can land that one hit a quitter on this guy, and he doesn't have the best of chins. He does get rocked quite a lot, and if you do have a suspect chin, facing someone like Povetkin, who is such an accurate puncher on the inside, is a nightmare. So yeah, the result of this fight, I am going to go with repeat. I do think Povetkin will knock out Dillian Whyte again, and let me tell you why. Mainly because Whyte will fight on the outside to start with. I think it might go exactly the same as the last fight. Obviously, the first fight he did drop Povetkin twice, but this time when he does, let's say if he does drop Povetkin again, as I said, will he be too scared to go in for the kill? Will he be too scared to finish Povetkin off with the last fight in the back of his mind being that, oh, Povetkin might catch me here if I do try and go in for the kill? So I think even if he does drop Povetkin, I think he will stand off a bit. He won't actually go in for the kill, and I think that plays into Povetkin's hand, because I do think that Whyte should fight how he did in the first fight, but he should try and get Povetkin out there early, because I think the later this fight goes, the more it plays into Povetkin's hand. And I think psychologically Dillian isn't ready to do that. I think Povetkin will go to the body, Dillian will be fighting on the outside, you know, like he did in the first fight, but he'll tire, and then eventually he'll get clipped by Povetkin, and that'll be that. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that Povetkin punch from the first fight was a punch from the gods? It was very lucky. Do you think Whyte can overcome whatever psychological issues you might have in facing Povetkin and sort of put that to one side for this fight? I personally don't think so, but if you disagree with me, leave it in the comments below. As always, like, share, comment and subscribe. I always appreciate each comment, each like, each subscription, because it just helps this channel, and I am on 59 subscribers now, and those of you who were here from the start know that I started with like 10 subscribers in January, and it's March, and I've got what, 49 more subscribers, which is, I want to say it's the fastest growing channel on YouTube, but you know, it's decent for me. But yeah, as always, it's King of the Ring Boxing, and I am out.